Hey guys, hi. This is Abhishek, Master Teacher of Physics at Vedantu. How are you guys doing? It's been so long time that I've done a video for CBSE 10th right now, isn't it? The final video which we did was on March 13th. That was just before the examination of CBSE 10th Science. And we had an amazing crowd with 1500 students watching the session live, and it was all happening just because of your support and your love. Thank you so much guys, and with the same energy and the excitement, we are ready to back this particular series back again. Now in the previous session or in the previous year or in any other academic channels, we have never done something like this before, called as Umang. My dear students, Umang meaning being ambitious throughout your life, and this is your CBSE 10 boards where you actually have to be the super duper ambitious, isn't it? And we are also very ambitious about our results which we are gonna get this year as well. And it was amazing the previous year, isn't it? 2019 batch of us, only of our YouTube students, had amazing response and have got 90% of scores all around the country. And with the same excitement, we are ready to do so this year as well. So many of you guys might be wondering what is this Umang series? Umang is basically, my dear students, a standard set of videos coming through you on the basis of the polls which we have collected from you guys. You guys are the owner of this entire series. You guys tell us which topic to take from this particular chapter, and we take up not only one but two topics, two most important topics to start this session. And we take those two important topics which you guys voted, divide it in terms of videos, and provide it to you guys with the best ever content in the entire YouTube. And that's what we do. And that's what I'm here to do today as well. So my dear students, welcome back again to Umang, and this is Abhishek, as I said, and today is Umang session number 1 on the vote results which you guys have given us. The topic is nothing else but the components of lenses as well as the focus of lenses, convex and concave lenses. So I'll be covering basically two important topics in this particular session video series for this particular month. Every Wednesday I'll be live exactly at 7 o'clock where I'll be showing this particular part. Now my dear students, let me tell you what I'm going to cover in this particular session. But before that, let me give you guys a brief introduction because many of you guys might not have seen me before. My dear students, my name is Abhishek, as I said already. I'm the Master Teacher of Physics at Vedantu. I handle 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th standards, and with God's grace and with your support, we had been able to produce amazing results. Mostly thousands of students getting 10 CGPA from Vedantu with the help of all the amazing teachers we have it here. And as a background, I'm also an aerospace engineer. That's the same reason why I'm into physics, because I love physics too damn much. That all is just credentials. Let's keep that away and let's start learning. So we always start our session with the help of a very important quote and motivation to ourselves. This required very much in CBSE 10 because, my dear students, very important to be motivated continuously. There will be a lot of situations where you will not feel motivated, and that's where these quotes help us, isn't it? Yes, and that's where we both help each other. So the quote for today is: a champion is not defined by their wins, but by how they can recover when they fall. Said by a very famous sports personality, Serena Williams, and I definitely follow that quote. My dear students, in this entire year, you'll be failing a lot of times, but do not worry, you will do great. Trust me, just keep working really hard. With that, let's start. So, in the topic lenses, what are we guys going to cover? We'll be starting with these first concept, components of lenses, and what about the focus. Many students have a doubt, what is a focus? Sir, what is primary focus, secondary focus of a lens? All those doubts will be cleared today itself. And after this particular topic, we'll be getting into the concept of standard incident rays. Now, what are these standard incident rays? These two topics are the topics which we're going to cover today. Now, what are these standard incident rays? The maximum amount of vote, that is 70% of YouTube population, voted us that they wanted to understand the concept of ray diagrams of lenses. Now, to understand the ray diagrams, there are certain standard incident rays which we have to take during the formation of lenses. Okay, and that's what we're going to study today as well. After that, we'll enter into the concept of ray diagrams of lenses, which is going to happen in the next session, that is exactly next Wednesday. Then we'll go on for the concept of sign convention. Now, I was very surprised that in the voting results, sign convention didn't come on the top, because that's the place where a lot of students actually face difficulty, and I was thinking that this might end up on the top, but that didn't happen actually. It was sign convention was not selected. But we cannot perform the numericals, which was the second highest voted topic, without the help of sign convention. So my dear students, the video structure is like this. Today we'll be completing components of lenses and focus, and then we'll be completing the standard incident rays. And my dear students, in the next session we'll be talking about ray diagrams of lenses, and in the third session we'll talk about sign convention of lenses, and in the fourth session we'll talk about the lens numericals. Maybe we'll do one more session extra for doing numericals. Let's take 2 sessions for some high-fi numericals, JE level numericals and everything. Let's do that if you guys need it to happen. So my dear students, so since I've given you guys a broad idea what's going to happen this particular month in physics, let's start today's session with today's concept. So as I said, the first concept is components of lenses and focus. So guys, so we are here with the components of lenses. Let's get it started. So where were we? First, we'll talk about the components of a convex lens, and it is enough to understand the component of one of the lenses, because the components do not change from lens to lens. It does not, but only the shape of the lens change. And let us try to understand what is the difference in shape when we talk about a convex lens and a concave lens. Let's get it going. So my dear students, I'm going to make a very beautiful convex lens right now here. So this is a very beautiful convex lens, as you can see. Yep. It's very beautiful, no? I know. Let me make that in the center, because I might utilize that particular part as well. So I'll make it here in the center here. Yes. So this is one beautiful convex lens. Saw that? Okay. So that's a convex lens. My dear students, the center, this is a convex lens basically. The center of this convex lens, what is it? It's a convex lens. Now let me tell you why it is called as convex, because it has a flexed out shape. Many people get confused कि sir convex क्या होता है, concave क्या होता है. We get always confused. So my dear students, very interesting to remember in this particular way. Whenever you see a flexed out structure, we'll call it as convex lenses. Okay, so now coming back, the center of this convex lens, my dear students, is called as what? Let me tell you that the center of this convex lens is called as optical center. What is it? It's called as the optical center, and it is denoted by capital O. It is the optical center. Similarly, in the case of mirrors, we had pole, that is the center of the mirror. Similarly, for lenses, we have optical center as the center of the lens. That's all. Now, this particular convex lens as well as concave lenses are made up of 2 spheres. How so? Let me tell you, let me show you that imaginary sphere. For example, if I take this side of this lens and I complete the circle, see that? That becomes an imaginary sphere, isn't it? This imaginary sphere will have a center. This imaginary sphere will have a center to it. Center बना दिया मैंने. That center will be called as center of curvature. What is it called as? Center of curvature. Correct? Okay. But sir, you made a sphere through this particular side. Similarly, I can make a sphere through this particular side. Good. Very good. That's the same reason why I said that the lenses are made up of 2 spheres. So if I complete this particular side, this is one side. अगर मैं यहाँ से circle बनाना start कर दूँ, see, that also becomes one another sphere. And that sphere should also have a center here. And that center is also called as center of curvature. No other doubts. So both the sides you have center of curvature, hence we'll denote this center has center of curvature 1 and this has center of curvature 2. Now many students will have a doubt here, sir, why can't we denote this as 1 and that as 2? Denote. No problem at all. Do whatever you guys want. There is no issue at all. So thank you so much for that doubt coming in your mind. I know this was there. Okay, so we'll call this in short form as C1 and we'll call this as C2, center of curvature 1 and center of curvature 2, C1, C2. Perfect. So I've got the optical center, I've got the center of curvature 1, I've got the center of curvature 2. Perfect. There are no other doubts left. Now, if imagine guys, this is a circle. This is a circle. Any line joining the center of the circle and the circumference I know I'm not taking till the circumference because circumference will be this point, not the optical center. The reason why I'm not taking this particular line to the circumference only until optical center is because these lenses which you're talking about, they are very thin. They are actually in real life this thin. So the distance between the optical center and the circumference of that circle will be not that much, will be in micros. So it doesn't matter you take that line to the circumference or you leave it at optical center, that doesn't matter. I just zoomed in this picture and put it here for you guys here. Cool? Makes sense? Yes. So any line which joins the center of the circle and the circumference of the circle is called as what? Obviously the radius of that circle, isn't it? So this, my dear students, since we call the center of this lens as center of curvature, not the center of circle, so we'll call this distance not as radius of the circle or radius of the sphere, we will call this distance as radius of curvature. Yes. ताकि नाम थोड़ा coinciding लगे, ऐसा ना लगे कि नाम यहाँ से वहाँ हो रहा है, यहाँ पे sphere बोल दिया, वहाँ पे circle बोल दिया. So this is nothing but the radius of the curvature, which is nothing but the distance between the center of curvature and the optical center. Correct? और यहीं से ये बात भी हो जाती है कि sir, you can draw the radius from here to here also. Yes, you can. So I have two radiuses for convex lens. So I'll call this radius as R1. I'll call this radius as R2. Again the questions come, sir, can we replace it? Yes, you can definitely do that. Correct? Awesome. So I have got how many components right now? I have got the optical center, the center of the lens. I have got the center of curvatures, which are nothing but the center of the spheres, which are imaginary, and we assume that they make up that lens. So we have got the center of curvatures, and that is the official definition as well. And the line joining the center of curvature and the optical center is called as the radius of curvature, because we assume that this particular sphere, this particular lens which we have taken is very, very thin, and the distance between the optical center and the circumference is not that much. That's why. So I have got these many components with me: radius of curvature, center of curvature, optical center. There are two more components. Let me talk about that very, very fast. So my dear students, after this what we're going to do, we're going to talk about this height of this lens. The height of this lens. The height of this lens basically is called as the, let me write it down for you. It is called as aperture. What is it? It's called as the aperture of the lens. Now why is this aperture important? How many of you guys have actually heard about aperture? Anyone has heard about aperture yet? You must have heard. If you guys are into photography through cameras or through mobile phones, or if you are interested into mobile phones, you must have heard about the aperture word very often, because we keep on talking about the aperture of the camera lenses a lot of times. We want that to be really, really big. We want the aperture of the lenses to be really, really big. Why? Because more the lens, more the size of the lens, more the height of the lens, more amount of light will enter into the lens, and you will get a good, a brighter, or a more good quality image, isn't it? Many of you guys might have heard about concept of low light photography, isn't it? Low light photography, I'm pretty sure you must have heard about it. The latest Samsung Galaxies provide that. Even the OnePlus has come out with the nightscape mode. So yes, so all this low light photography is possible when they increase the size of the aperture, because when the size of the aperture increases, the amount of light entering in increases. So even in night time, the light entering is more, and hence you get a better clarity image. I hope you got that point, isn't it? So aperture is very, very important for us to understand, but it is not that important in terms of CBSE 10th. But in real life, yes, it is important. I hope you got that particular point. So guys, we have done with the aperture part. Let us move on to the final thing. The final thing is very, very interesting. There, for the sake of drawing ray diagrams, we need this last component very much. What is that component? Any guesses? Many of you might be thinking, sir, focus. Nope, not yet. We have not entered the focus yet. We are talking about an imaginary line passing through the center of curvatures and the optical center of the lens. An imaginary line which passes or axis that passes through the center of curvatures and the optical center of the lens. What is this imaginary line called as? Yes, you got it right. It is called as principal axis. And with that, my dear students, we'll end the components of the lenses, and that's all about that. Correct? So what are they? I hope you guys have noted it down. It's optical center, center of curvatures, radius of curvatures, principal axis, and aperture. Almost all the components which you found out in mirrors, but I hope you got out here as well. So once we are done with this, let us try to understand with this with a very good example. Here, animation here. I hope all of you guys can see the convex lens. Yup. Let it start again. I'll show you guys very clearly. So you have the convex lens, guys, basically, and as I already told you guys that the convex lens is imaginary made up of two spheres. Correct? Let me show it to you guys starting right now. So this is the convex lens. This convex lens is made up of two bigger spheres. Both the spheres will have centers called as center of curvatures. Correct? C1, C2. The distance between the center of curvature and the optical center is called as the radius of curvature, and the line passing through the radius of curvatures is called as principal axis. That's all. Correct? So that's all about the convex lens. Now you must be thinking, sir, क्या concave lens में भी यही होता है? This is a concave lens. If you have not seen that, हाँ बेटा यही होता है. Let me show that, because there is a small difference in the shape of the concave lens. Now why is this called as concave? Because if you notice very clearly, the concave lens is caved inward. Actually, it is curved inward. I'll call it as a caved inward because that makes me easy to understand. Remember which is a concave lens. It is caved inward. बस तो जब मैं इसको बनाऊं, when I'll be making this particular concave lens, let me show you how to make it very, very easily. You must be thinking, sir, is concave lens also made up of two spheres? Exactly right. Look at this very carefully. When I have two spheres, I'll make these spheres first. The first sphere, oh my god, it looks like a proper circle. I'm so smart. Okay, then comes the second sphere. I'm not that smart as you guys, right? Okay, going ahead. So these two are never called as spheres, guys. These are not actual spheres. This is the spheres created by Abhishek Sir. Do not believe that. Okay, guys. So we have the spheres here. What will I do? If you notice something very clearly, if I connect these part, and that, my dear student, is a concave lens. That's all. ठीक है? तो इस concave lens का optical center होगा. पढ़ लिया हमने. This sphere will have C2, center of curvature. This will have C1, center of curvature 1. The line joining R1, R2, imaginary line passing, principal axis. Everything else same. It will also have an aperture. No doubts about that. So every component of a concave lens is same as that of the convex lens. The only difference between convex and concave is the regions of this particular lenses which are used to make that concave lens. Convex में वो ऐसे थे, concave में वो ऐसे हो गए. This is how the convex and concave lenses are made, if you guys were curious about it. So my dear students, we are done with the components of the lenses very, very clearly. I hope you guys have understood and taken the notes of that very, very clearly. Let us do a quick summary. So this is the entire summary of a convex lens and a concave lens. As you can see very, very clearly, the shape of the lenses are obtained by combining the two spheres, imaginary, and the shape of this concave lens is made by the imaginary spheres by keeping it at a distance apart, and you get that part. So we have got all the components ready with us. And meanwhile we were doing this, we also defined each and every property of this particular lenses as well as with the definitions. I hope you guys have got it down. And trust me guys, do not worry, all this particular images will be able to download as notes, and you can find that out in the descriptions below. You can also find out in the Vedantu's app. Cool. That's it about the components. Now let us move on to one of the most famous concepts of lenses as well as mirrors, called as the focus. The focus for a convex and concave is different. And also we have classifications as primary focus and secondary focus. So to understand focus, I need everyone's focus on the screen right now. My dear students, focus completely here. Let's go. Okay, let us look into a very beautiful animation here to understand what focus is. Which lens is this? As you can see very clearly, it is a convex lens. What is happening in this particular animation, if you notice very carefully, when the light rays are coming parallel to the principal axis. If you notice, this is the principal axis passing through. When the light rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, once they pass through the lens, they all converge at a point. And my dear students, that point will be called as the focus. What will it be called as? It will be called as the focus. I'll repeat it again. When the light rays come parallel to the principal axis, after refraction from the lenses, it will converge at a point, and that particular point will be called as the focal point or the focus. That's all. That's all about a convex lens focus. I'll repeat it again. Light rays coming parallel to principal axis, after refraction from the lens, will converge at a focus. We will call that particular point as focus. Okay? Okay, awesome. Now we are going to go forward and going to understand what do you mean by primary and secondary focus of a convex lens. Okay, let us keep going right now. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, my mistake. Yes, got it. Cool, convex lens. Now how to go about this particular part? Yes. First, let's draw a convex lens. You must have been thinking, no? Sir, light rays coming from that direction, it can come from this direction also for a lens, because lens is transparent. So the focus can be made both the sides. So which direction should we take? We will answer to this question in a moment. Let us talk about it. So guys, we are going to make this particular convex lens. We have drawn the optical center. I'll pass the basic principal axis also. I'll make the center of curvature C1 here. I'll make the center of curvature C2 here. बन गया, सब हो गया हमारा, कुछ बाकी नहीं रह गया. I'll make the radius of curvature also R1 if you want it. R1, R2. This is the radius of curvatures R1, R2, C1, C2. Everything drawn very, very carefully. There are no doubts about it at all. Now we are going to go forward and try to understand primary and secondary focus. First of all, let me define focus once back again. All the light rays coming parallel to the principal axis, after refraction will converge at a point, and that point will be called as the focus. Not exactly. Not only focus. Let me make that clear. Let me draw a very interesting ray diagram right now. Very beautiful. Better than that animation. You want to see? Let me show it to you guys. So the light rays were coming parallel. Isn't it? So these are the parallel light rays. After refraction, what happens? These parallel rays converge at a point. Yup. So they all converge at a point. And that point, as we stated, is called as the focus. Not exactly. This is not merely a focus. This is actually the secondary focus. This is actually the secondary focus of a lens for convex. For concave, it will be different. We'll talk about that later. But this is the secondary focus of a lens, also called as f2. So you must be thinking, what is then primary focus, sir? To understand primary focus, let me redraw this system. What happens is, if I go back and start drawing this diagram again, you have the convex lens, the optical center, and the principal axis. Now imagine what happens is, I keep a source of light, that is a torch or a bulb, exactly at this particular point. At that particular point, there is no good thing about that point. This point does not have any significance. But imagine what happens is, when I keep the torch or bulb at that particular point, the light rays start coming out of those particular point. The light rays start coming out of those particular point. Once it refracts, all these light rays become parallel. If you have such a point near the convex lens, then this is also called as the focus. Not any focus, but primary focus. and that is the definition of primary and secondary focus. This is very beautifully given in ICSE boards, but never given in CBSE. But I understand that you might not know this, so I'll quickly repeat, guys, ki what is a primary focus and secondary focus scenario here. What is primary focus? Primary focus is that point on the principal axis from where if you emit light, that light after refraction will become parallel to the principal axis. Now, what is secondary focus? Secondary focus is that particular point where all the light rays coming parallel to the principal axis after refraction will converge. That will be called as the secondary focus. Good. Now you must be thinking, sir, is there any easy way to remember this? Yes, there is definitely an easy way to remember this. There is always a convention which we follow. In CBSE 10th board examination, in CBSE every time, in 10th also, in a majority of the cases in 12th also, we always assume that the object is kept on the left hand side of the lens or in front of the lens. So the object is always kept on the left hand side in front of the lens, my dear students. When we assume that, light rays will always come from the object, and that's how you will make the image. Without this, you cannot make the image. So the light rays is always going to come out from the left hand side of the lens. So your primary focus is the focus always on the left hand side, and your secondary focus F2 is always on the right hand side. Never get confused anyway. So if someone asks you, sir, which is the primary focus? Primary focus is that focus which is closer to the object. Secondary focus is that focus which is far away from object. Khatam. Itna hi hai. ये बहुत ही simple definition है to remember this, but the actual definition I have already told you before. Correct? Yes. That's all, guys, about the primary focus and secondary focus of a convex lens. I believe you guys have understood that particular part. Give me a quick high five if you guys have understood it. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been a very patient crowd. Thank you so much for that. Now, these are really basics, and I assume that you guys know a lot of these concepts, but these are very important to be stabilized before we start the ray diagrams. ठीक है? क्योंकि ray diagrams में बताऊंगा light ray passes like this. Where it will pass through, you will be like, I don't know. So we should know. Let's talk about concave lenses. When I go back to convex lens, there's one thing which I forgot to tell you. What do you notice? You notice that the light rays coming parallel to principal axis converge, like they converge down to one point. So the light rays gets converged through a convex lens, converging. And that's the reason why convex lenses are called as converging lenses. ठीक है? भूलना मत. In the examination there will be a lot of numericals, so instead of giving you convex lens, they'll give you converging lens. Now we'll move forward for the concept of concave. If you notice what happens in a concave lens, light rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, but after passing through this particular concave lens, they do not converge. What is happening? They are diverging. If you notice very carefully, look at it very carefully. Light rays coming from the concave, like coming parallel to principal axis, after refraction, they are diverging out. They are not converging at all. And that's the reason why concave lenses are called as diverging lenses. Correct? तो अभी सब सोच रहे होंगे, okay sir, in the case of convex lens, the light rays converge, and that particular point we call that as the focus. यहाँ पे convergence हो ही नहीं रहा है. How will we get the focus? There is a trick. Let me make you guys understand. ये diverge हुआ light. ये जो भी light diverge हुआ, I will retrace the path. I will project those light rays, refractor rays. I project it back, and all of them looks like they converge at a point, and that point is called as focal point. अब बहुत लोग सोच रहे हैं कि सर ये क्या बोल दिया आपने, बताता हूं. लुक एट दिस वेरी केयरफुली, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कॉन्केव लेंस में सबसे ज्यादा डाउट आते हैं. यू हैव द कॉन्केव लेंस, बन गया. क्या होता है? लाइट रेज पैरेलल टू प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस, रीच कॉन्केव लेंस. लेट मी मेक द प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस ऑल्सो ऑप्टिकल सेंटर. ठीक है, ये है लाइट रेज. अब क्या हो रहा है? लाइट रेज गेट्स डाइवर्ज बिकॉज कॉन्केव लेंस इज अ डाइवर्जिंग लेंस. इट गोज अवे, गोज अवे, गोज अवे, गोज अवे. दे गेट डाइवर्ज्ड. ठीक है, हम क्या करेंगे? वी विल project this light rays backward. ये जो reflected rays है, refracted rays है, I'll project these backward, and all of them seems like they are converging at this particular point. When I retrace them backward by myself, they are not retracing by themselves. No, that's not happening. I retrace them backward by myself, project them backward, and I see that it looks like they're converging, and that converging point we'll call it as the focal point or as the focus. The question right now here is this focus real focus? Are the light rays converging by themselves and we get the focus like convex lens? The answer is no. The light rays are not converging by themselves. So hence what we are getting is not a real focus. What we are getting is a virtual focus. Why? Because the light rays are diverging and we by ourselves retrace them backward or project them backward and we get that point. So this is not a real focus. This becomes a virtual focus. There is only one line to understand this. Light rays do not converge by themselves. Bas. Okay? So I hope you guys have got this particular point. Now my dear students, what I'm going to ask you right now is a very small homework to do. Find out the concept of primary focus and secondary focus about the concave lens and let me know in the comment section below. When you guys have to just tell me, is the primary and secondary focus at the same position as the convex lens for the case of concave lens? इतना बता दो मेरे को. ये है होमवर्क आपका आज का. Let me know in the comment section below. I will talk about this in the next session, but definitely I want the answer on the comment section below. As all my previous students know, I reply to each and every comments of my own students in the videos. So be ready. Cool guys. So this is the homework to find out the primary and secondary focus of a concave lens. Cool. So since we have done that particular part, now we are ready to go for a very wonderful simulation which is very much required to understand the concept of ray diagrams. Correct? So I hope all of you guys are ready for this simulation. Let me start the simulation right now in a moment. So guys, we are back with the simulation right now and let us try to understand what are the standard incident rays which we are supposed to know to help us for the ray diagrams. So let us start right now. Okay. So guys, we have a very interesting simulation right now here going on. If you guys want the website here which is used for this, I'll let you guys know in the comments down below. Okay. But right now all of you guys make a very focused look onto the screen. Okay. Very important. So guys, here I have an object. This is my object candle here and you can see something is moving there. That is my image. So let us not focus on the image today. We'll focus on that later on in the ray diagram session. So just focus on this particular object. This is my candle which is my object right now here. So what is going to happen? So since the object is kept on the left hand side as I told you, there are certain standard incident rays which we will use to actually draw the ray diagrams. Now the first primary question which a lot of students has is, sir, why do we need these standard incident rays? Let me explain to you guys in a very brief manner. It's very important to understand. अगर एक object है, उस object में से it's not only that parallel rays come out. No, rays come out in all the direction. Like this is how the rays come out of from all the objects, from the lenses, from the tube lights which you have. The rays come out from all the directions. So which ray you should use to draw the ray diagram? And that's where standard incident rays come in. So these are certain standard incident rays which you can apply without any measurements. एक और चीज आ जाती है, ऐसे सोचो कि okay, standard incident, so I'll make one ray. This ray, where will it go? I don't know. I'll take angle of incidence I. I'll find out the refractive angle. Then I'll use the second law of refraction to get the other angle. Then I'll draw the ray. In the case of standard incident rays, you do not have to do that also. So what are the benefits of a standard incident ray? You just have to use these rays to draw the ray diagrams without any measurements. I hope you got that. Now let us talk about these three standard incident rays. So there are three basically. Let me tell you guys about the first one. And honestly, when I say this, you guys have studied about two of them already right now in today's session. So let us go forward for the first standard incident ray. So when I talk about the first standard incident ray, it is the standard incident ray which we already spoke about, that the ray which is parallel to principal axis will pass through the focus. And which is this focus? The secondary focus. So doesn't matter where the object is. See, if you notice, no matter where the object is, every time the light ray is passing through the focus only. It is not changing. So whenever you have a light ray parallel to principal axis, it will always pass through the focus. There is no measurement required here. You can do whatever you guys want. So there is no measurement required. So you can take infinite number of parallel standard incident rays. It will always pass through the focus. So this was the first light ray, guys. I hope you guys have understood. Moving back now to the second incident ray, which is also you guys have studied, the light rays which pass through the focus. Remember, in the case of the primary focus of a convex lens we studied, if you have the object on the primary focus, or if the light ray seems like it is coming from the primary focus, after refraction, this particular light ray becomes parallel to principal axis. Guys, doesn't this look exactly the opposite of your ray 1? Let me tell it to you. Light rays parallel, pass through focus. Light rays through the focus becomes parallel. So these both rays, my dear students, looks opposite to each other. So these are my two standard incident rays, guys, which you guys have understood right now. I hope I made sense to you guys. Moving on to the third and the final standard incident ray, which is the most easiest of them. This is the third standard incident ray. Look at it. It looks like a single line because it is. This is the ray which is passing through the optical center of this particular lens. And my dear students, whichever ray passes through the optical center of the lens passes without any deviation. There is no deviation going to happen. There is no refraction happening to that particular point. The light ray just passes through straight. By using these three standard incident rays, you can always get the image. Okay? So I hope, really hope that you guys have understood this particular concept as well. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been amazing. So I'll do a quick summary of whatever happened till now. And my dear students, so we have done a very clear simulation also. Let us go for a very interesting quiz time. So this quiz time is going to be a part of all the physics videos where you can see, or where you can test yourself about all the concepts which you have studied in this particular session. Let us start going for the question number 1. All the best. I hope all of you guys have understood whatever we have studied today. And this quiz also makes sense to revise the concepts you have studied. Question number 1 on your screen, guys. The height of the lens is also called as. What is the height of the lens called as? Focus, optical center, aperture, or curvature? My dear students, do let me know what is the answer for this question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope you guys got the correct answer for this question. It is nothing but the aperture of the lens. Yes, the height of the lens is called as the aperture. Yes. Now, my dear students, I'm going to ask you 4 more questions. Do let me know in the comment section below how many of you guys got all the questions right and where you guys went wrong. And also let me know if you guys have any doubts. Cool. Question number 2 on your screen. Primary focus of a convex lens is towards the image side, the object side, or none of these. Think. We remember this as a shortcut to remember the primary focus and the secondary focus. And your time ends in 3, 2, 1. I hope you got the correct answer. Exactly. The primary focus is always on the object side. Perfectly well done. So it doesn't matter whether the light ray is coming from here or from there. If the object is kept here, primary focus will be towards the object. If the object is kept here, the primary focus will be here. Simple as that. So always remember in this particular manner so that you never get confused even if the object's position changes. Moving to the third question. The focuses of a convex lens are, concave lens are, real or virtual? We already learned this, isn't it? In the case of concave lenses, the light rays do not converge. Hence, we do not get the focus. So what do? We retrace the path backward and we get the virtual focus. Very well done, guys. 3 questions are up. I hope you guys got all the questions right. Moving on to the 4th question right now. The rays parallel to the principal axis of a convex lens, rays parallel to the principal axis of a convex lens after refraction will pass through the F1, which is the primary focus, the F2, which is the secondary focus, the C2, that is center of curvature 2, or the O, which is optical center. we studied this. This was the animation which we had. So try recollecting with all the amazing animation which you saw today. And your time ends right now, and the correct answer to this question is obviously the F2. All the light rays parallel to principal axis for a convex lens will pass through the focus, which will be called as the secondary focus. Moving on to the final question for today, you have done a really great job. Here is the question. The rays passing through the optical center through the lens will pass through F2, will go undeviated, will retrace the same path, or it will pass through C2. Kya lagta hai? Come on guys, let me know what is the answer. And your time ends in 3, 2, 1. Your time ends right now, and the correct answer to this question is will definitely go undeviated, which is option B. This is the third standard incident ray which we spoke about today. Amazingly well done guys, amazingly well done. There might be one simple thing which you have noticed today, that I've given you guys one simple homework. That is to tell me about the primary and secondary focus of a concave lens, and also I've given you one more thing that we have not done about the standard incident rays for a concave lens. I would request you guys to have or try to go through that and see whether you guys come up with by yourself or you need my help, and let me know in the comment section below. So with that, my dear students, we have covered the components of lenses and focuses very clearly, and we have also spoken about the standard incident rays. In the next session, we'll be talking about ray diagrams of lenses, and also we'll be talking about the sign convention in the next to next session and the lens numericals. So with that, my dear students, this is Abhishek signing off for today. You guys had been an amazing audience. Thank you so damn much. If you like this particular video, hit that like button. If you love this video, share this session as well with each and every one of your friends, and also hit that subscribe button to get notified whenever we upload a video on YouTube. But you will only get notified if you hit that bell icon. Subscription is not enough. So please do let us know guys. Please hit that bell icon and do let us know in the comment section below about the race session and about all the doubts which you guys have regarding this particular video. If you want to contact me directly, you can also ping out to me k.abhishek@vedantu.com. That's my personal email ID right there. Cool. So with that, my dear students, this is Abhishek signing for today. Until we meet next time, enjoy your life. Bye-bye. Take care.